My name is Leota Marks, and I'm Dean of Human Resources and Affirmative Action. And today we are holding a campus community forum to introduce the finalists for the Director of Athletics position. And we will have three presentations today. And the first one will be Matt Goldbeck. Each presenter will speak for 15 minutes, and then we'll have 15 minutes for questions and answers. All of you should have received evaluation forms, 3 of them, one for each candidate. So we hope that you will complete those and turn them in to either Robin or Cheryl on your way out the door. I've also been reminded to ask you to please turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate, so we won't interrupt our speakers. So I just want to tell you a little bit about Matt Goldbeck. He's the assistant baseball coach and gym supervisor at Kansas City, Kansas Community College from June '98 to the present. And his duties include scheduling of baseball games, transportation, assisting with fundraisers, maintenance of the baseball fields, and coordinating gym usage. He has served as a trainer at the Wellness Center and an adjunct instructor. And in the community, he has coached and served as general manager of a Ban Johnson team and coached a high school American Legion team. He holds a bachelor's degree in management of recreation and athletic facilities from Ottawa University of Kansas and a master's degree from Central Michigan University. Mr. Matt Goldbeck.
Thank you, Leota. See a lot of people out there that I recognize from the community, from the college, from the athletic department specifically. I feel like I'm honored to be chosen to be one of the finalists. I'd like to thank the committee for choosing me as one of the finalists for the athletic director's position. I get this opportunity today to present my vision for the athletic department. I'm proud of the fact that I worked my way up here at the college. I'm a community person. I graduated from Washington High School right down the road, and I put myself in position to get a dream job I have here at the college. But I view this also as a win-win situation for me. If they don't choose me to be the athletic director, I still get to coach baseball, a sport I love, as we get ready to open up a brand new facility on the north end of campus. I know the baseball team's excited about it, just like the coaching staff is as well. So to start here, I think it's important that I give you a little bit of a background. I think my background will help you understand how I came about my vision, help you understand my passion, loyalty, and commitment to this institution. I began coaching here 19 years ago. I played 4 years of college baseball, and as soon as I got done playing college baseball, I started coaching here. My first 2 years, I played here at the college. So I've studied here, played here, and coached here. It's kind of funny because when I first started coaching here, a lot of the parents would ask if I was a player. They don't ask me that anymore. So I've been here a long time. I have deep roots in the community. When I first started coaching here, I was making $2,500 a year. To help supplement that salary, I would do various jobs on campus. I'd work the volleyball and basketball games as a stat guy, clock guy, line judge at the volleyball games, also along with working baseball camps, field maintenance, and umpiring baseball games on campus. As years went along, as Leota said, I began to add more responsibilities. So I look at our human resources now, and they don't let you have 2 jobs, and I had 6 at this time. I worked in the concession stand, in charge of the concession stand, worked in the wellness center, teach classes, and then finally in 1998 they hired me full-time as a gym supervisor and assistant baseball coach, where Leota hit some of these things. I'm still responsible for the concession stand, but also for coordinating the use of the gym with outside groups, campus police, and buildings and grounds and media services. And me and all my work study guys get to set up for all the events and all the different times that we get to use them. So this job is in most places what they call the assistant athletic director. Someone who handles the day-to-day operations. It's a job that makes you work 6 to 7 days a week. Usually in the spring semester, Easter is the only day off. I don't say that for anyone to feel sorry for me, because I have a great job that I love. So I tell everyone to help them understand my commitment, loyalty to this college, and to demonstrate my knowledge for this department and my willingness to put the college first. So let me get into my vision. I think the athletic director needs to work closely with the coaches to help them develop the student athlete. So first and foremost, we want the students to develop in the classroom. I think it's important that we year in and year out, the athletes typically have a higher GPA than the normal student population. So we want to continue to do that, but we also want to strive to do more than that. We don't want them just to be satisfied with being eligible. We want them to strive to be academic All-Americans, to graduate and graduate with honors. The next thing we want them to do is we want them to get better in their sport. I think it's important that we have 2 years to get them ready for the next level, and I think it's important that we give them a strong foundation by increasing their athletic ability, getting them stronger faster. So the foundation is hopefully set here at the college so they can go on and be successful at the four-year institutions by giving them a strong foundation in the classroom and as athletes. I also view the athletic department as we're shooting to compete for conference championships and compete at the national level. So I think that's why you play sports, is to win. So, and I think that's important. I think it's secondary to developing the student athlete, specifically in the classroom, but I still think that's important. I also view the athletic department as always looking for ways to improve what we can do. I want innovative thinkers on our coaching staff. We want people to maybe think outside the box and not just be satisfied with status quo. We want to continue to get better. So, and also a few other things that I want is working here for a long time and seeing all the assistant coaches coming in and out. I'd like to see us have full-time assistant coaches, and I think that it's important that we work to continue to improve our facilities. We need more indoor space, locker room space, training room space, weight room space, office space, storage space. I think I'm a slide behind here. Hang on a second. So I view that as the athletic director's job is to work to get more stuff for the athletic department. So I see athletic director as someone who works closely with the coaches and has teams that play hard, teams that strive to win, and win with class and dignity. This is my vision for what I see for the athletic department, but I think what's more important than your vision is how are you going to accomplish that. So the first thing I would start by doing is, and we do this some already, but I would have coaches' evaluations. We want to evaluate the coaches consistently and make sure that they continue to work on their craft. We ask the players every day to continue to work on their craft to get better. I think it's important that coaches do that as well. I think a good example of this is I don't think anybody out there would go to a doctor that graduated 20 years ago and never did anything to keep up with modern medicine. I feel the same way about our coaches. There's always new techniques, motivational tools, and training ideas out there, and I expect our coaches to continue to explore those, and I want to create an environment where all the coaches work together and share those ideas. One thing I would like to do is have a mandate that the coaches do at least one thing a year professionally, like attend national coaches conventions, do some kind of continuing education, speak or conduct coaches clinics, read books, internet, etc., and then let's share that amongst the coaches and how we can become better coaches day in and day out. Also, part of that evaluation process would be to have season ending and end of the school year meetings with the coaches. We do that some now already, and the whole purpose of that is, what goals did you accomplish this year? What are your goals for next year? What went well? What are some things that didn't go so well? And how are we going to improve that for the next year? In addition to that, something that I think would be new would be I'd like to have exit interviews with all the athletes, the sophomores going out the door. I played here 22 years ago. The challenges I faced as an athlete is different than what the athletes go through nowadays. So it's just part of the interview process. We want to know what challenges they have. How can we do to make it better around here? What are some of the good things the coaches are doing? Maybe what are some of the things that they maybe could do better? In their opinion. Once again, this is the coach's responsibility is to hold the players accountable, teach them responsibility, and get ready for the four-year school. We're not going to let them run what we do up here, but it's important to get their feedback. One other thing I would like to do as the assistant or the athletic director would be to travel with the teams a minimum of one time a year. I think if you go with the teams and see how they're traveling, how they eat, and all those different types of things, it just helps you stay connected with the athletes and the coaches and the different programs that we have. Getting into the next thing would be fundraising. Fundraising is a big issue here at the college for the athletic department. Right now, as it stands, our system is that each team is responsible to do their own out-of-state fundraising. So if you want out-of-state students, out-of-state athletes, you have to do that fundraising. Not everybody's held to the same criteria, and I believe that we won't give out-of-state scholarships if you can't do that. That's your responsibility as a coach. That's something that we've agreed to do, and I think it creates trust issues within the athletic department, and not if everybody's doing the same thing. So that's the first thing. We're going to hold everybody accountable. The next thing we'll look to do as the athletic director, I think it's important to find out that and to let the institution know not everybody has to do out-of-state fundraising in our conference, and I think that would help our coaches tremendously if they didn't have to do as much out-of-state fundraising. So I would address the institution and ask them if they're willing to use student fees for out-of-state scholarships. There's legislation out there that says you can use student fees. Is that something our college is willing to do? A lot of schools have bordering states where they have the same in-state tuition. The out-of-state tuition is the same as in-state. If we could do that, that would help relieve some of the fundraising obligations from our teams. So if you relieve that obligation from them, then maybe they can spend more time studying, working on their craft, getting better at the sport that they're in. Now, I think fundraising is good for our athletes at some level. I think it teaches them responsibility, holds them accountable for the program that they're in, can help with building team morale. But I still think we want to minimize that sum. Other fundraising ideas is you can, the athletic director is important. He gets out there and he networks. He needs to get out, gets boosters, alumni, parents, get everybody involved and see who we can get involved to help support the athletic department. One idea that I really like that I have would be to have a parent weekend. And in October, I think we can basically have all the teams play during that time. The basketball teams start practicing then. They can kind of do their midnight madness and play scrimmages at that time and invite their parents to come watch them. The baseball and the softball team can have fall scrimmages at that time. I think it would be good to have them play at that time, showcase our facilities, and have the parents for that. Men and women's soccer obviously are in season along with volleyball. They can have home matches that same weekend. And then the fundraising idea that goes along with that is you have your golf tournament. We'll always have the golf tournament on Monday. Have it on the Monday, but maybe now we get some parents involved to participate in the golf tournament. And so the golf team can help with that. And the track team, maybe we can do a 5K to start the weekend off. So just two different fundraising ideas that would help and get the parents involved and hopefully get some community support. So you get the parents on campus, and then you just get all the teams involved, get the parents on campus, and maybe they know people. We don't really want the parents' money because they're spending a lot of money for their kids to go to school. But if their company is willing to give money, let's explore those options. So I think there's a million different things you can do as an athletic director for fundraising. These are just some of the ideas that I have, and I think we keep to work to explore more. The last thing we'd like to address is our facility needs. As you guys can see as you come into the north end of campus, the college has done a great job for the baseball, soccer, and track. We got great new facilities up there, and I think that's important. It's state-of-the-art facilities. We couldn't ask for much more. So, but what we need to do is address there's other issues that we need to address. We don't have enough indoor practice space. We got basketball teams that are practicing while the baseball and softball teams are practicing at the same time. So, and maybe soccer teams doing something in the working out in the gym as well. So you might have as many as 3 teams getting ready for practice. So you got baseball and softball getting ready for their in-season, and you got basketball teams getting ready for their conference games, and they have a lot of distractions going on in there. I also believe we need to get more training room space. We have great trainers here on campus. They do a great job of rehabbing and working with our athletes. But we have trainers that have to do, we have people doing rehab in the hallways. We got offices in the hallways. If you've been up to our gym, you'll see that there's offices in the hallways, and we got our athletes that have to do some of the rehab in the hallways. There's just not enough room. Our weight room, right now, if you go look at our national strength and conditioning guidelines, it's set for about 6 people. That's as many as you should have. So we have safety issues in there because we usually have more than that in there. And we have a weight room that nobody can really lift overhead if you're over 6'3". So our basketball team, I know our men's basketball teams have trouble doing lifts over the head. So there's space issues there as well as safety issues there. We don't have enough locker room space. This is the college athletics, and we have people that dress in the cars for some of their events. There's not enough office space and store space. So those are the problems, but how are we going to address them? We got 3 different options I think that we could do. One is, you know, the dream world, build new. It'd be awesome if we could build new and do state-of-the-art facilities, indoor facility, weight room facility, just like we did at the north end of the campus with the baseball and soccer and track. So that's, you get what you want if you do that. The positives of that is you get what you want. The negatives of that, I'm sure it's going to be the cost. It might be a tough sell right now after you just spend a bunch of money up there. So, but that's something I think the athletic director needs to find out. Is the institution willing to support something like that? Is there anybody out in the community willing to give money like that? I think it might be tough, but I think it's something that has to be, we have to find out. Second option, I think I kind of view this as the last option, is a dome. We've looked at getting a dome to put over the tennis courts. The good thing about that is probably costs, and you get practice space. The negatives about that is you only get practice space. You don't address your weight room space. You don't address your locker room space and other things like that. And it's seasonal. You got to take it up and put it back down. So those are two things you can do. Third option that I've looked into is the old Roger Smith & Sons right across the way at the south end of campus. I know the guy who's selling, it was a real estate guy there, and talked to him, and I know Roger Smith & Sons is looking to get out of that. They're trying to sell it. If they can't sell it, they're even looking to lease it. So those are things that the school could look into. But the positive about that is I think you can put a weight room in there. You can create indoor practice space. You got batting cages, soccer, and tractors can practice in there. I think the softball team is probably closer to there than the gym. So you can put their locker room down there. You can put the offices down there for the softball. I would even think about putting another team down there. Maybe track, I know that's not ideal, but they use the weight room as much as any program, so maybe they could be down there. Something that would be discussed with all the teams as we looked into that. So, and also you can put training room space down there as well. I mean, the negatives of that is it's off campus. It's not too far off campus, but there is negatives to that, and you have to remodel it. So that is my vision for the athletic department. Hopefully I showed my vision, my passion, my commitment and loyalty to this college. I've been here for 19 years. I plan on being here for another 19 years at least. And I want what's best for the athletic department. And I hope that these are some of the ideas, whether they hire me or not, that we can use to help make this athletic department better.
Thank you, Matt. Anyone have any questions they'd like to ask?
Matt, what's your vision on recruiting maybe more concentration of Wyandotte County athletes?
Well, glad you asked that. I'm from the county, and I would like to see as many people from the county as we can get in here. But we also want to compete at the national level, so we have to have out-of-state kids. So I think there's a balance there. There has to be a need. There has to be, you know, I know in the baseball department we recruit some kids and they end up not wanting to stay close to home. So there has to be a need, and there has to be, I mean, we don't just hire anybody on campus just because they're from the community. If so, I'd probably get this job. I'm the only one from the community on the thing. But I think you go with the most qualified people. So you try to look for the best, fit. And like I said, I think you need to explore all those options, and I think that you try to build relationships and encourage the coaches to build relationships with the coaches in the area, and hopefully we can get as many people from the community as we can here at this college. Yes, ma'am?
Yes. How much money have you raised for your students?
For the students, I've been in charge of the baseball, and I'm not solely in charge of that. Coach Brosen is the head fundraiser, but we nickel and dime it. But we've raised, I think, $40,000 this year. So that's that's just hard work. Like I said, going out and working the speedway 4 days a week. So our athletes are doing a lot of hard work there. They umpire tournaments and things like that. So yes, sir.
Mr. Goldbeck, I'm Robert Roberson. I work in the Student Advising Center, and we are coming up with a plan to advise the student athletes. I just wanted to know, what would your model be for advising your student athletes?
For advising them for the next year?
Yes.
Well, I think that you talk to the counselors and you find out what degree plan that they want to be in, and then it would be ideal if we could have all the counselors or the advisors come up and meet with the athletes, maybe one program at a time, and have them sit down and talk to them about, hey, this is where, if you want to graduate, we want you to graduate. This is what you need to do. These are the classes you need to take. These are the time frames you can take them. And if you don't take it this semester, you got to take it next semester. But just the education to the students, of letting them know the advantages of getting an associate's degree and giving them good foundations for the next level. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the exit interview, I thought that we asked the students to give us, all students to give us an exit interview. So tell me why this would be different from the one that they supposed to fill out.
I'm not sure. I'm aware that we do exit interviews.
They're supposed to give us the exit interview so we can.
Okay. Right. And well, my specific goal would be to meet individually, person to person with them. Sit down in a room and meet with them person to person, not just give them a piece of paper that they fill out in 30 seconds and they're out the door. I want to meet with each individual as they go out the door, and I want to understand what the challenges they have at this college. What do they like about the dorms? What they don't like about the dorms? What do they like about the coaches? What do they don't like about the coaches? All those different things. But I think that if you get the person to person, if you meet with them individually, I think you'll get better answers than just giving them a piece of paper and have them fill it out.
Okay, when you did the Van Johnson league,
Yes, ma'am.
over here, those leagues do they pay to use the different facilities?
They do pay to use different facilities, yes. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Tamara Abijah, the Vice President for Academic Affairs, and I'm just curious, maybe you addressed this earlier, I've given a few minutes late. What would you do to ensure that student athletes are meeting the requirements of the classes that they're enrolled in? I mean, how do you handle it in terms of...
Well, a lot of that comes down to the individual coaches, and we just educate the coaches on how to do that. Part of my role right now is working with I have the infielders of the baseball team, and we send grade reports out, and we're checking with their instructors to make sure that they're attending class, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do in class, and see what kind of grades they're making. So a lot of the coaches and teams have that in place. I think it's just make sure that we address them and make sure that they continue to upgrade them and find different ways. And I think with technology, it might even be a little bit easier to do nowadays than in the past. Yes.
When you talked about fundraising and you said hold each team responsible, what would you do if a team did not meet fundraising goals and came in over budget or needed extra money and couldn't pay their bills?
Well, I mean, the first and foremost I want everybody to understand is I want to work closely with the coaches and help them achieve to the best that we possibly can. But like I said, I think it creates trust issues within the athletic department if they're not all held to the same criteria. If they don't raise their out-of-state funds, they don't get scholarships the next year. And I mean, over the course of a couple of years, then we might have to reevaluate what they're doing. But I think it's important that everybody is held to the same criteria. As the athletic director, I would try to create different fundraising ideas to try to alleviate that from the coaches. But as it stands right now, that's the system we have. That's what the school has in place for us, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to hold them accountable, and if they don't do it, and if they don't say they're not, I don't think it'd be hard to keep the budget within lines. You keep track of the budget monthly, and if it looks like they're going to be over, you take their credit card away and you tell them they can't do it. And you try to have a little bit of vision and try to have them show that, hey, we're going to be responsible over the course of the year. This is what our costs are going to be. We can kind of see we might be over. And another thing about fundraising too is the costs keep going up every year. The cost of travel goes up. The cost for equipment goes up. So we have to generate more funds. The budget is pretty much staying the same. So everything's going up, but the budget's kind of staying the same. So we have to generate more funds for the athletic department.
Why is it important for you and for athletic directors in general to be personal and relational with students and coaches?
Well, I just think that helps you stay connected with what they're going through, the challenges that they have. I think it's important that we understand where they're at and where they're going. And that's our job as coaches, is to help them move on to the next level. And I think if you stay connected with them, that will help you. It doesn't just be it's not just a job. It's something that you're working to help the athletes achieve at the next level. Yes,
Hi, my name is Sean. I'm the director of the Student Advising Center here. Sometimes on a college campus, faculty and staff do not understand the demands and the stressors that student athletes have outside of the class. If you were hired for this position, how would you help the faculty and staff on this campus understand the load and the responsibility that student athletes have on the field?
Well, I think that's a great question, and I think that it just goes along with educating. You need to go out there, and I mean, I think you can do a little bit with emails and presentations like this and everything, but I think it's more important to get out there and talk to the teachers and ask them, you know, see how our kids are acting in class, and make sure that they're representing the college how we want to, with dignity and respect. But I think, like you said, it's just important to get out there, and much like we want the kids to graduate, we want to educate them on what's the importance of graduating. We need to just go out there and educate the teachers on why, what we have to go through as athletes. But I don't want to use that as a crutch for the athletes either, because there are a lot of challenges out there. But there's also, I mean, I know a kid that finished school. He would go to school, play baseball, and he worked nights too. So I mean, there's a lot of people out there that there's a lot of things that they can do, and I don't want to use that as a crutch for the athletes. But I'd like to have a good relationship with the instructors to let them know there's times where we have to miss class, and when they do, we want them to be able to make the work up, and hopefully they're doing that stuff ahead of time.
How would you handle or deal with a student athlete who may be coming in unprepared, or who may be performing underneath the college expectations?
Well, I think our college does a great job of addressing that right away by having developmental level classes. But also I think that, and I think our coaches, most of our coaches do a good job of that, seeing if there's going to be a problem with that, and then they create study halls for them and extra responsibilities or extra checkpoints for those kids so that they can make sure that they succeed at the college level.
Are the study halls in the facility?
There's some people that do them in the facility, and a lot of times we've got a great learning resource center at the college, so we use that a lot as well. Yes, ma'am.
Denise McDowell, Dean of Enrollment Management. You mentioned something that intrigued me. How will you enhance the perception that our student athletes are ambassadors for the college, both on the campus and in the community?
Well, I think the way to do that is, first of all, start with our athletes themselves and let them know that we expect them to represent us on campus and off campus as well, and that anything that we do, as I do as a coach, or if I was the athletic director, anything I do represents what we represent here at the college. So I think it's important to educate the students on that and let them know that we have to work hard at being model citizens off the field as well as on the field, because the whole point of the idea is to get them to the next level. And if we get them to the next level, then we can do well in the classroom, do well on the practice and the game field, and that hopefully we'll get more scholarships, and then, like I said, it built a foundation for them to go on to the next level. Yes, ma'am?
What community groups do you belong to?
What community groups do I belong to? As you can tell, that I don't know that I belong to any groups. I work here at the college. I coach a youth league baseball team. I've coached help with a youth league basketball team here in the community. I work a lot with, just on campus a lot, so I work a lot, do a lot of baseball camps. So I get to be amongst the community like that. As far as specific groups, I don't know that I really belong to any specific groups. Anything else? All right, thank you.
Okay.
Anything else? 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 Anything else